Hello and welcome to my channel English Buzz. Today in this video I shall explain the poem My Mother at 66, which is also a part of class 12 CBSE syllabus. So watch the video till the end. My Mother at 66 is a poem by Kamala, who has written several poems and short stories in English and also Malayalam under the pen name Madhavi Kutti. Kamala has won several awards, including the Pen Asian Poetry Prize in 1963 and Kerala Sahitya Academy Award in 1968. This poem is written in lyrical idiom and brings out the complexities between human relationships. What is most significant about this poem is that the whole poem is written in one single sentence and is punctuated by commas. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doze, open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away, and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. In these lines we see the poet has gone to visit her parents' house somewhere near Cochin last Friday. On the day of her return, as she is driving back to the airport, her mother decides to accompany her to see her off. The old lady falls asleep in the car. The poet happens to look at her mother's face. Here the poet uses a simile to compare the pale ashen face of her mother with that of a dead body. It pains the poet to realize that her mother was getting old, and particularly now as she was sleeping with her eyes closed and mouth open, she resembled a corpse. The poet uses an enjambment in the second line in Friday morning. Quite naturally, the poet feels alarmed by the sudden realization that old age had crept upon her mother. This was a bitter truth, a hard reality that was difficult for the poet to accept. In order to divert her mind, she looked out of the car. There she saw the young trees sprinting. Now this is obvious as she was sitting in the moving vehicle, so when she looked outside of the window, the trees appeared to be moving in the opposite direction. Here the trees have been personified, and the trees also symbolize how fast the time passes. The poet also sees happy children running out of their homes. The children symbolize the youthful vigor, the vitality, the energy, the life force that her mother lacks now. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan, pale, as a late winter's moon. In these lines we see that the poet has reached the airport, the security check is done, and now the final time of their separation has come. The poet feels very upset. The poet looks at the face of her mother and finds her mother's face to be colorless and pale, just like the late winter's moon. What happens in winter? Due to the presence of fog and mist, the moon appears to be dull and hazy. Here, the poet again uses a simile to compare the colorless and pale face of her mother with that of the winter moon, which is less lustrous. Winter also signifies death. Therefore, this emaciated and weak condition of her mother probably is a sign of her approaching death, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma," and I did was smile and smile and smile. In these lines we see that the childhood fear of the poet of losing her mother resurfaces, and the poet feels very upset to get separated from her mother. However, she has commitments to keep and she has to move on. She does not want to give her mother the inkling of her feelings. So, she puts on a brave smile. She doesn't know whether she would be able to meet her mother alive again or not. But she puts on a brave smile, and as if to motivate herself and also to give hope to her mother, she says, "See you soon, Amma." Here the poet has used alliteration in "see you soon" and repetition in "smile" and "smile." Now here's the poem in a nutshell for you all. The poem is written in free verse and has no perfect rhyme scheme. The poet talks of the old age, which is the age or period of lost vitality, vigor, and wavering mind. The poem also talks about the fact that parents form the epicenter in the children's life. To reconcile to a mother's approaching death is even painful to consider. The basic theme of the poem also deals with that how one prepares to accept the death of a loved one, a near one, and how a human death is accepted, separation through death is accepted by human beings. So that's all for now. Do write to me in the comment section to let me know how much did you like the poem. Give the video a like. Do share the video with your friends and subscribe to my channel English Buzz. Bye for now.